A vacuum cleaner is probably one of the most essential appliances that can have for one's home. The principle of sanction the vacuum cleaners work upon to ensure the removal of dust take place effectively, even from the hard to reach corner of the house. What is vacuum cleaner? The vacuum word comes from the Latin word an empty or space, void or vacant, and vacuous meaning empty relate to vacant means to be empty. A vacuum is defined as colloquially as the state encountered in a room at pressures below atmospheric pressure. The pressure in the vacuum is generated by vapors and gases that are eventually distributed all over the house. What is the purpose of a vacuum cleaner? A vacuum cleaner is for dry and wet surfaces. It can remove the dust of particles and materials that are deposited into the dust bag inside the cleaner. A vacuum helps people to clean their house effortlessly, especially those people who have heavy jobs. Besides, it has an advantage on the parents who have young children to clean their house fast.
Engineer Hubert Cecil Booth was a British engineer who invented the first ever powered vacuum cleaner among other things. So when Engineer Booth was 18 years old, he passed the entrance examination and entered the Central Technical College. Moreover, in between 1894 to 1898, Engineer Booth designed the Ferris wheel for amusement parks in London, Paris, Vienna, and Blackpool. He even designed the steel factory in Belgium in 1899. In 1859, based on U.S. patent records, Hiram H. Herrick invented the first carpet sweeper. In 1860, Daniel Hess of West Union, Iowa invented his own version of carpet sweeper. The machine of Daniel Hess was not really a vacuum cleaner. However, it preceded the actual volume that we know today. This carpet sweeper by Daniel Hess is hand-operated and its rotating brush and blows to suction up the dust and dirt. In 1869, Eves McGuffey got a patent for a machine called the sweeping machine and he named it Whirlwind. This Whirlwind sweeping machine is a clean drag and there was no motor. Moreover, this device was a hand crank device while pushing it against the floor. In 1876, Melville Bissell invented a push-powered sweeper and called it Grand Rapids. According to Bissell, he invented this push-up powered sweeper out of necessity to pick up the dust off the carpet in his shop. So this Grand Rapid is a carpet sweeper that had brushes connected to wheels. In 1898, John Thurman of St. Louis, Missouri invented the pneumatic carpet renovator. So this machine is a gasoline-powered and blows the air to clean the dust instead of creating a vacuum. In 1900s, Corinne Dufour improved carpet sweeper by powering it with electricity. It also covered the rollers with sponge, which were moistened with water to better collect the dust. In 1901, Engineer Hubert Cecil Booth from England invented the first motorized vacuum driven by an internal combustion engine. People called this motorized vacuum as Puffing Billy. So this Puffing Billy is the first motorized vacuum cleaner was driven by an internal combustion engine and it was placed on the horse carriage because of its size. In 1905, Walter Griffiths invented the first portable vacuum cleaner and it was called foot-operated vacuum. This first vacuum cleaning device could be carried without aid, and besides, it was the first vacuum cleaner that had a flexible hose. In 1906, James Kirby designed his first vacuum and named it Domestic Cyclone. His designed vacuum can be used water to separate the dirt and cloth to filter out the dirt. However, in 1907, he experienced the difficulty in disposing the dirty water, so that he came up to the idea and designed a new system that used centrifugal action and cloth to filter out the dirts. In 1908, James Murray Spangler invented the portable electric vacuum. It was the first motorized portable vacuum cleaner, and it has an electric fan, box, and a pillowcase to collect a dust. In 1910, Charles Bache, Frederick Oshus, and Lewis Hamilton invented a small motor that could run on either AC or DC electrical power, and which would later power many vacuum cleaners and make them smaller. In 1919, Jim Kirby agreed to become a main designer of vacuum cleaners for George Scott and Carl Fetzer. So this partnership produced some of the more innovative designs in the vacuum industry, like for instance the electric vacuette model. In 1920, Ohio is the first to do so and start to manufacture vacuum cleaners with a disposable bag, and it was called the Airway Sanitizer of Toledo. In 1921, Axel Wintergren designed and launched his first vacuum cleaner. It was called Lux V. His design was the first vacuum cleaner with metal sled instead of wheels, which became sort of a standard. 1926, the beater bar was invented by Huber. It is a metal bar attached to the rotating brush roll in the floor nozzle, and it vibrates the carpet while sucking, which removed dirt more efficiently. In 1930, the first model of vacuum cleaner was made up of plastic, appears on the market. In 1935, the Kirby Model C is the first vacuum cleaner by Scott and Fetzer to carry Kirby's name that appeared in shops. In 1950, Huber designed the first upright vacuum cleaner that were introduced and appeared in production of market. In 1954, Huber made the first Hovercraft vacuum cleaner, and this vacuum cleaner does not have any wheels but it flows on its own exhaust. In 1963, in this year, David Oreck started making industrial-strength upright vacuum cleaners which have reduced weight and easier to use. In 1969, Hoover made the first self-propelled vacuums. Besides, this type of vacuum was the first produced on the market. In 1978, James Dyson started experimenting with bagless vacuum cleaners. Until 1993, James Dyson built over 5,000 prototypes and finally made his dual cyclone machine. In 1979, Black & Decker started selling small cordless vacuum cleaner that work on batteries. In 1997, the Swedish manufactured the Electrolux Trilobite. For the first time, it appeared on BBC's Tomorrow World. So this year also considered as the year of first robotic cleaner. In 2002, this Roomba was designed by the iRobot company. It is a disc-shaped vacuum cleaner with AI and sensors that cleans the room without human involvement. And lastly, in 2011, Jake Tyler from Britain invented the first vacuum cleaner which was made of cardboard. So his invention impressed so much the wax manufacturer of vacuum that they decided to hire him and put his invention to their production.
For the significance of the vacuum cleaner in society, it can be categorized into three, which is financial, health, and social activities of a person. Health, the status of the surrounding or the environment of a person is very important since it can cause of some health issues. Thousands or even millions of skin cells and hair being shed every day, bacteria allergen, dust, and pile up of pollen is the common problem that cannot be easily removed. Vacuum cleaner offer a lot of different kind of facilitation in this matter. Keeping the house vacuum, neat, and organized can be beneficial to maintaining the good mental health and respiratory of a person. And also, vacuuming is also can be considered as a form of physical activity. Social, the condition of the home will affect someone's image in a society. Example, if the person is not clean on himself or even in a place he or she goes, we will only conclude that the environment he is living is like that. And if the person is clean in himself, we will also know how he acts inside their home. To be short, the behavior of a person will only reflect on his or her environment. Maintaining the cleanliness of the surrounding is also one of the many ways to create or to maintain the image of society. And as for the financial, vacuuming is also a way of protecting someone's property as they put investment on their things inside the house. Vacuum cleaner is a low-cost tool.
The pricing of the vacuum cleaner is depend on the size and the type of you needed in cleaning. It also save a lot of time and energy. For the conclusion, the study shows that vacuum cleaner has a huge role in maintaining the house cleanliness. It helps people to clean the house effortless and remove tiny dust particles under the chair, bed, and etc. It can use in the dry and wet surfaces. Using vacuum cleaner will be a great help for those people who have a heavy jobs and children. Also, vacuum cleaner has a huge impact in our society, such as financial, health, and social activity of a person.